I often hear, but recovery shouldn't be this hard. Why shouldn't it? Where does it say it's supposed to be easy? Let's be fiercely realistic here. The world isn't how we want it to be. If that was the case, no one would ever go through chemo. Why? Because it might feel horrible and they might be very sick. They shouldn't have to go through that. Right. But the reality is the world just is what it is. And that's really important to remember. It's like the same with reading the books. Oh, the books is too difficult, it's too long, it's too boring. We've got to think we're so lucky to have those books. And then compare it to something far harder. And then you start to think, God, I'm so lucky that this isn't as hard as that. So, for example, I put a video up by one of the most famous violinists of the 20th century. And if you look at top violinists' lives, just playing the violin hours and hours and hours and hours a day, often in poverty where they're trying to make a great future for themselves, often never getting noticed, and often, especially today, ending up broke most of their life because there isn't the money in classical music as there once was. Right. How good would you have to be a top violinist? Well, you'd have to be exceptionally good, and you'd have to practice a lot, and you'd have to have natural ability, be very, very hard, right? Being a top violinist is like similar to being a grandmaster in chess, extremely, extremely hard. Now, OCD recovery, is it that level? No way. Is it harder than we would want it to be? Yeah. Is it harder than it's made out? Yeah, let's be realistic. If you just go on an NHS website, it goes, oh yeah, for most OCD sufferers, they just need like 6 or 7 sessions of CBT and they'll be good. Are you joking? That is absolute nonsense. 6 sessions of CBT. I've not met one person in my life with severe chronic OCD, who's just gone in for 6 sessions of CBT, completely recovered, and never had a setback ever, and never been. That is not the case. Usually, in most cases, they come out getting anxious towards the last session, like, this is my last one and I'm not better not say anything because I don't want to feel like the exception. All day long, people are coming in like that. I was like that, right? So the reality of life is it's going to have challenges, and we've got to be fiercely realistic. OCD is misunderstood by most. It's complicated. That's why I do the work that I do day in, day out. If it was easy, I would just do posts all the time about thoughts are thoughts, leave it there, no big deal. It was not easy. My brain was in that brain lock for years, 24/7, and nothing would budge it. I was terrified. I couldn't sit with uncertainty. It would not release. I have been there. I know what it's like. I know what it feels like to be in that mental maze where everything's trapped. It is frustrating. The OCD recovery is hard. OCD is a hard taskmaster too. So even as you're improving, it's battering you down. But what you learn and you go through this journey will hugely empower your life. And it will teach you to be rational and calmer in difficult situations, which life is going to throw. And that skill is worth its weight so much from those hard times. Those hard times are the building blocks. Really think about that the next time you go to say, it shouldn't be this hard. Why me? Why are the books so hard? If you were in college and they said, read the books, you'd read them all because there'd be no choice because there's an exam coming and they'd want it done. But because there is an element of free will of, I don't need to read the books, I'm busy, I don't have to, it's not really a priority, I can still get on with my life, it doesn't get done. Like most things in life, it's not a priority and there's not some rule to do it, it doesn't get done, right? So you've got to be fiercely realistic and think, what are you trying to achieve? You're trying to achieve a better future, and procrastination is not going to cut it.